you feeling sad?
We are experiencing technical issues.
Welcome to part 3. Should be the finale of this video. This is where the painting got done. A lot of the painting didn't get shown just because I'm not quite sure how to film it yet. Not quite there. But enjoy, and the model is pretty much done in this video except for a couple touch-ups. So hope you enjoy. As you can see, we're doing the sanding on this. Just some fine sanding around the neck. Just to make sure we got everything. The seams, they're not going to be perfect completely, but there is a mask going around, so we'll be able to take care of that. And using a little detail sander with a little angle guy in there. Pretty rough sanding right now as far as I go. Plus little pick sanders, but yeah, just getting it prepped and ready. Pretty much ready for paint in this video, so that's what it's all about. Here we got some more, this is pretty much getting ready to prime. You can see in the background, the base, we printed the base. It's a little smaller than it should be, but it was one shot on my printer, so that's what we had to go with. And pretty much on that part, just getting him set and see where he is, and getting that part stopped. Getting ready to prime, doing all the priming. Had some problems with some black primer, just broke on me, so just getting this guy ready, seeing where my gaps are. No filler primer, really didn't want to overshoot some of the detail, just to see where I need to fill in gaps and everything else and pieces like that. Getting the legs and the belt and everything done. You'll notice a theme in this model, the legs turn out a hell of a lot better than the top does. More lessons to be learned for sure. This is just a short little shorty, just showing the base, getting the base primer. I did use filler primer on this because I wanted to cover as many layers as humanly possible. There's nothing special about this, of course. It's just filler primer. Getting it nice, but the base did turn out really, really cool. I'm really happy with the way the base turned out. You'll see a little further down the line. Again, practical applications I'm pretty good at. Finer points and details still need to learn. This is where we're going to kind of really play around with a couple different techniques. This was gluing the model together. Basically using some resin and some powder mix to fill some gaps. It actually turned out really decent, but I didn't sand it as good as I probably should have. It got to be so monotonous, and it got to be messy, as you'll see. The mix was really thick, kind of like, really almost like grits or toothpaste, and it did fill a lot of gaps. I was able to really get it in there, and there's no real big gaps in the arms and pieces like that, but it got to be a massive pain to deal with. As you can see, some got on the shirt. I had to play around with that and be careful not to sand it to sand some of the details. But it worked out in the end. You know, here's me curing it. Fun times. On to the next. Here's me doing a little bit of painting. Bottom you can see is primed up. I used just like a regular black. It was kind of glossy just for now, just for some highlight stuff. But this is just me getting the belt with like a darker gray that I had painted. Getting it all set up for a little bit later with a little bit of embellishments on the paint. Nothing special. Just getting it ready. Again, the bottom turned out better than most, so that's always fun. Here we got some masking going on. Just masking off the boots because they were kind of done, not completely done, but done. To see my expert masking skills. Not quite, but you know, we'll take it when we can get it. And this was just kind of to get everything ready to really start diving in on the bottom part, the legs and everything else. I wound up using more soft tones like satin and pieces like that to really get it going. You'll see as it turns out here. I actually really liked it. Again, the bottom just turned out a lot better than the top, so the theme continues. There's your first opportunity to see my little airbrush setup. Nothing special, of course. Masked off completely. Using more of a primer black to give it that rough and rugged look. Completely masked off. I am not great with an airbrush. I'm still learning. I'm also learning that I'm really bad at it. For some reason, I just can't thin the paints properly. It's just a struggle. You're just going to have to deal with it. It's a struggle. I struggle with airbrushing. You'll see me goofing off and playing around with it at different times. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. It's actually really, really bad. So don't judge. So I'm going to be doing the top. This is going to be like basically laying down the first primer for the skin. I had all kind of issues with this paint. For some reason it did okay for the first layer. Not too bad at all, really. I was really content with some of the black and the shadows that showed through, but progressively it got a little bit worse. I don't know if it was the thinning or the spattering. Again, not a professional. Willing to listen to anyone that wants to help. There's local classes around here, this place that I'm going to take. I really want to hone my skills down just because I really do enjoy it. I'm just really, really bad at it. Like, notoriously bad, horribly bad. I probably just need to do a lot more thinner coats than I do. I'm just bad. It's just bad. Just okay. It's bad. Here's something that I'm not horrible at, and that's just the freehand painting. It's just whether or not my hands cooperate with me on the said day. I can pretty much do some of the finer points and details. I've learned to flare out and things like that. As you can see, I don't really mess up the soles much. I had to do a little bit of touch-up, but I got it pretty much free-handed. The paint dries really, really nice and matte. It gave the boots a bit more of a rugged look. I do add some embellishments later. I found the damn bottom to be much more enjoyable to paint than the actual top, for obvious reasons. There's a lot more nooks and crannies up top. Definitely was above my pay grade, but I mean, I made it work okay, I think. It is what it is. Again, this isn't about perfection. It's about fun. Here's the base as we painted it, primed it, embellished it some, dry brushed, made it look like metal. Cool stuff. I really like the base. The base turned out better than just about anything. Here is the finished, mostly finished model. You will see some things in there, some layer lines and stuff, but again, the pipes aren't completely done, but they will be touched up and everything else. There'll be some more touch up to this, and I'll do a follow-up, but that's basically the model, folks.